6 is all about sines and cosines, but using a special law called the law of sines and the law of cosines. This is when you cannot use trigonometry or special right triangles or Pythagorean theorem. So, law of sines, you need to know the formula. The formula is this: the sine of angle A over side A equals sine B over side B equals sine C over side C. What that means is you have 3 equivalent ratios, so we're probably going to be doing proportions today. So example 1, find P, round to the nearest tenth. So you'll notice P is that side, QR, so 17 is across from it, so the sine of 17 over P equals the sine of 29 over 8. Let's use our rules of proportions and cross multiply. So we get 8 sine 17 equals P sine 29. How can you solve for P? Yeah, let's divide both sides by the sine of 29. Okay, so P equals 8 times the sine of 17 divided by the sine of 29. That's what you need to put in your calculator. It says round to the nearest tenth. So P is about 4.8. Example 2. Now you're going to be finding an angle. Find X, angle A, round to the nearest degree. Okay, so we're going to use that one, law of sines. The sine of X, we're going to look across the street, over 11 equals the sine of 50, and again, look across the street, over 10. Cross multiply. Sine X equals 11 sine 50. We need X by itself. Now remember that sine of X is a package deal, so this is kind of together. So let's divide by 10. Okay, I get the sine of X equals 11 sine 50 divided by 10. Remember, last lesson we talked about if you want to find an angle, you need to use inverse sine. So, inverse sine of this whole thing, 11 sine 50 divided by 10. That's going to equal X. Put that in your calculator. Round to the nearest degree. You'll find angle X is about 57 degrees. Okay, let's talk about the law of cosines. The law of cosines, this is when you have no angle measures, or if you only have one angle measure. You can't use trigonometry, you can't use anything else, and you can't use law of sines because you don't have two angles, okay? So the law of cosines says a squared equals b squared plus c squared. Yes, I know that sounds like the Pythagorean theorem, but we're not done. Minus 2bc, notice the b and the c are over on this side of the equal sign, times the cosine of a. So the angle opposite the side. Okay? Let's look at what that means. Okay, in example 3, you want to find x. So always look at the side or angle opposite. So our law of cosine says a squared. So in this case it's x squared because you know the angle 49. X squared equals, now we're going to use these other two sides. It doesn't matter what order you put them in. 11 squared plus 25 squared minus 2. Again, these two sides times 11 times 29. Oops, I mean 25. And then the cosine of the angle opposite, cosine of 49. Okay, let's simplify that up a little bit. X squared equals 121 plus 625 minus 550 times the cosine of 49. Okay, now order of operations. This right here, this is a package. You cannot just do 121 plus 625 minus 550. It doesn't work that way. You can simplify these two though. So x squared equals 746 minus 550 times the cosine of 49. Now put that in your calculator and you will get a really long decimal. You should get about 385.16 on and on and on and on. Do not clear that. Square root the answer you have in your calculator so that it's most accurate. So x equals the square root of that long number, which is about 19.6. That's how long this side is. Okay, example 4. We cannot use law of sines because we have two missing angles. So we have to use law of cosines. That's how you know when to use what. Look at what you have. I don't have two angles, so I have to use law of cosines. I want to find angle L. So I want to know what is my a squared in this formula. Well, look across from the L. And it's 24. So 24 squared equals the square of these two, 5 squared plus 27 squared minus 2 times 5 times 27 times the cosine of, we don't know, so the cosine of L. Let's simplify that up a little bit. 576 equals 25 plus 729 minus 270 cosine L. Okay, let's simplify the first part again. 576 equals 754 minus 270 cosine L. Now remember, this is a package. They stay together, so you cannot subtract those. You can subtract 754 though from both sides. And that gives you negative 178 equals negative 270 times the cosine of L. How can I get the negative 270 away from the cosine? If they're connected, I have to unconnect them, so I have to divide by negative 270. So I'm going to come over here, and my cosine of L is negative 178 over negative 270. Do not put that in your calculator yet. I want to know what the cosine of L is. I want to know what L is. So this is where I need to know the angle. I'm going to put the inverse cosine. So inverse cosine of Negative over negative makes a positive. 178 over 270. Round to the nearest degree, you will get about 49 degrees. Okay, example 5, your teacher forgot to draw the airplane. So you can sort of sketch the following. And we're going to draw a triangle right here. And this triangle is isosceles. And this wing length is 20 meters. And this angle right up here is 50 degrees. I want to know the width of each wing, so this is x. Okay, I need to use law of cosines. I want to find x, so I need to look at the angle across, which is 50 degrees. So x squared equals 20 squared plus 20 squared minus 2 times 20 times 20 times the cosine of 50. Okay, simplify that. Okay, excellent. You should get what I have on my paper. Let's simplify a little bit more. Put that in your calculator. Don't forget to square root it at the end. We're going to round to the nearest tenth. So x is about 16.9 meters. Perfect. Okay, last example. This time it says solve the triangle. So I need to see, okay, I have all my side lengths, so I am missing my angle measures. I don't have angle measures, so I have to use the law of cosine. Let's start with P because it comes first. Angle P. So I'm looking at this angle. I'm going to use 8 for my equation. 8 squared equals 7 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 7 times 9 times the cosine of angle P. Here's what I should have. Let's go ahead and simplify that. Okay, excellent. And let's combine our 49 and our 81. So we will get 64 equals 130 minus 126 times the cosine of P. I want to get P by itself, remember, but these are attached. So let's minus 130. And I get negative 66 equals negative 126 cosine of P. So remember, I want to know what the cosine is. Divide by negative 126. So I need to put in my calculator inverse cosine of 66 over 126. And I should get what? 58 degrees. Excellent. We'll put it right here. Angle P is 58 degrees. Okay, we're going to do the same thing for, let's do angle Q. Okay, angle Q goes to the 7. So if you want to use a different color, if you didn't use pencil. Okay, so angle Q goes to 7. So my equation is, yes, 7 squared equals 8 squared plus 9 squared minus 2 times 8 times 9 times the cosine of Q. You go ahead and simplify that. You should get 49 equals 145 minus 144 cosine Q. Let's minus the 145 from both sides. You will get negative 96 equals negative 144 cosine of Q. What could you do now? Yeah, you can divide by negative 144. And there we go. Now we have some lead. So the Q is going to equal the cosine inverse of 96 over 144. Angle Q is about 48 degrees. Now you could do that all again to find angle R, but I already know two of my angles, so angle R is just 180 minus the sum of 58 and 48. Angle R is 74 degrees. Excelente. So, concept summary. You should learn those. You should memorize those. The law of cosines, these are the same formula, it's just for the different angles. So, don't worry about memorizing 3 different ones. It's all the same.